Hi guys, James here at Miss Soul Car Finance. We just wanted to take you behind the scenes of Miss Soul Car Finance and some of the industry challenges that we're all facing at the moment, and really just maybe identify the need just now to reassess your clients and also the potential issues and be aware of any potential issues that there may be. All this is really part of our 5-year strategic plan as well. We always sit down and do our strategy and whatever, and this forms all part of our 5-year strategy. The biggest issue that's facing everybody just now is duplicates. We worked with a couple of companies last month doing some work for them. To sort of keep it nice and short for you, we ran all their claims together, ran them into a central database, and we found the duplicates. Now, of the 3,000 claims that month, 30% were duplicates, which meant 900 deals. So again, if that was a funder, 900 deals, if it's 500, it's £450,000 that could be split between two companies, or even £450,000 that's going nowhere, it's not going to get utilised. You know, if it was 150, it varies between 40 up to maybe 500 or whatever, depending. The 500 is a wee bit of a kind of cash cow. It's a lot of money coming out, and really there's not a lot of incentive there to go and work hard to get all of the rest of the deals if it's just paid per client. At the moment, we're all working in it's a wee bit of a kind of frenzy going on, and I think what we need to do, our motto at the moment is slow and steady wins the race. And that doesn't mean low volumes or whatever. It just means tight controls and processes and regular communication with the clients. Outside that, not necessarily lowish volumes, but working hard to get the numbers right up and get them processed quickly and everything done at the right time. So on the duplicates, when we spoke to the clients, because what we wanted to do was obviously speak to clients and find out exactly where it all went wrong. And what we found is the majority of the clients didn't even know they had signed up. So between the two companies, probably one we were familiar with, the other one they weren't. And this was the same, with both companies. So what they were saying to us, they had no idea they'd just signed a legal and a binding agreement. So as we had said, we argue the point they're financially unsophisticated, and we got to say that legally and the sort of formal letters, they may be unsophisticated with that as well. So to put that in front of them, like CFAs and DBAs and stuff like that, all the agreements, how much did they understand? And that was the thing that the customers were saying. I never even understood it. I thought I was checking just to see if I was due one, and maybe checking their car tax or whatever. So what they were saying, the advert was misleading. It really just told them, put your name in and see if you qualify, put your date of birth in, put a reg in, do all these kind of hooks to get the customer in, and they kind of clickbait, when it came to it, said, find your agreements and the value. And really what they were doing at that point, they were signing up. So so there's a lot of stuff out there that might come back and bite a lot of people, I would say, including funders and solicitors and everything else. So we maybe need to kind of reassess the clients, etc., and see where we're at. Clients felt they were kind of getting misled. The bottom line, clients hadn't heard anything back as well from some of the solicitors, so that was the other thing. They hadn't heard, so they just went ahead and signed up with someone else. And literally what that led to, we were looking at a database, a kind of central database. So what we've got set up just now to eliminate this problem with these two customers, we've got that set up so nobody knows one another's data. It runs through a central database, and it cross-checks it all the time. And that's amazing for funders and amazing for the solicitors. They're going to save them, they'll save hundreds of thousands of pounds, if not millions. But roll that out into the industry, and it could save multi-millions, possibly billions or whatever. Because I think the way it's going, it's just out of hand. Everybody's throwing money at things, and they're not maybe got the discipline and the controls in to make sure everything's getting spent wisely. So basically, other than that, the car finance we started our car finance database probably about 10 years ago, and that was really down to the fact we knew we were going to need to build as much data. We ran all the feeds in from all the companies, etc. So we've been running our database for the last 10 years. We knew we'd require that at some point. With regards to introducers and marketing, I think one of the big problems we've got just now that's facing us is the fact introducers are probably paid per client. So there's no real incentive there to go and get 4 or 5 deals or 3 deals, whatever it is. We tend to get 3 deals per client, and what happens is, well, the introducers, one client, so the solicitors are working on one deal for the customer, which is a wee bit unfair for the customer because they are assuming that everyone's getting, worked on or whatever. The funding model for the introducers is between £40 and £200 or whatever, and really it's whether they're incentivized to get just one client, put them in, and they're paid, and it's the same with the solicitor. So everybody's got a different agenda. As you can see, we're working on the big picture, a 5-year plan. We had a 10-year plan, we finished there, and that's us got another 5 years. So everybody's got a different agenda. So you need to be working with the right people, with the right mindset, and a strategy in place, and somebody that understands the market inside out. So we were getting access to full historical data. Clients were unaware that their solicitors aren't actually working on all their cars, so that was causing them a real problem, and they were getting a wee bit kind of short-changed. The disadvantages to the client is pretty obvious. They get one claim as opposed to maybe 2 or 3. We've got clients where one claim might be up to £20,000. We've also got clients that have got 20 odd cars. So you can imagine the amount of losses they'll get if they've not, the solicitor or whatever isn't working all the cases. So there's a few disadvantages. Clients put trust in the solicitors and ourselves and everybody else to go and find all their deals and do all the claims properly and maximise their money and just take off the right amount of fees and no more. And they all know that agreements over 6 years are going to be almost impossible to get. We were dealing with 50,000 calls, etc. So we know all the data, and we've spoken to all these finance companies. They will not give over information easily. So the next thing that we'll be looking at for the benefit of the customers and everything else, we all have our own in-house legal side and all the rest of it. We run all our claims, all our own marketing companies. So we are from cradle to grave. But one of the things we've identified all the way along, and we've now produced it as our solicitors packs. So it's really the information that a customer needs to go and do their own claim. And that what we found is out of our 10,000 customers that we had identified as these are customers that definitely, they're capable, they're knowledgeable enough, and they'll go and do their own claim. Out of hundreds of thousands of customers, these 10,000, 1,500 actually proceeded with the claim. When we spoke to them all and got all the analysis done, it was the information that was a killer. So what we've now producing is all the information that we would normally provide to other solicitors that we work with, giving the customer all when their agreement started, their agreement number, the registrations, the start dates, all the payments, when it started, when it stopped, the full amount, calculating all the APRs and the redress calculations, etc. So the customers, solicitors pack for the customers is an absolute game changer for everybody. It's just really to give the customers more opportunity, etc., to run their own claim. And they can always come back to us at the end of the day. If they're struggling, we can go back, we can give them a wee helping hand. With regards to, there's not a lot of negative information or just general information. It's just normal day-to-day processes and life and business, working through challenges and things changing. But as far as the missold car finance, I would say it's a phenomenal place to invest if you're working with the right people and they're doing the job right. That's the reality. If you're working with the wrong people and it's not getting done right, you're going to just be throwing money at it, and you won't have all the KPIs and all your stats and everything else that you need to manage it. The markets really have been crashing, as you've seen them. The world market's been crashing. The sort of Trump tariffs and all that stuff on China and everything else, it's laxed a wee bit. I think there's a 90-day break. It's been put on pause or whatever. But that's all been crashing. So their markets have been down. So realistically, the returns on the missold car finance is phenomenal. We had models there where we're doing at least 100 to nearly 200% return. So it was £100 in, and then we're getting about the £100 back, and then another £200. So one of the models was phenomenal returns. So it's a good market if it's done right and you're working with the right people. I think that's the main thing, really. We just want to make sure you're aware of all the information, what's going on, and if you are going to work with somebody, make sure that you're working with the right people that have got the experience and the advantages over all the rest of the competitors. Thanks once again.